Welcome to Silverstone, the home of motor racing in the United Kingdom. It's approaching 10 o'clock and soon we'll be seeing the first car out on track for today's practice session. We should expect to see some very large crowds here this weekend, as we do every year at the British Grand Prix. It's a popular racing circuit, it has huge fan support and is well liked by the drivers and teams.
Many of the teams are based in Britain, and so Silverstone is their home race. It's one of the most historic circuits on the F1 calendar, and one that all the teams enjoy racing at.
Not only is Silverstone one of the oldest circuits in the Formula One World Championship, but it's also home to some of the most iconic corners, and none more so than Maggots and Beckett's. This is a high-speed sequence of left, right, left, tightening corners that lead into Chapel, and then of course the long hanger straight.
The high speeds of this sequence demands extreme skill and precision from the driver. Getting this wrong will affect the momentum all the way down the hanger straight, which is also a DRS zone.
Hey guys, Hasselman back at it once again with a brand new video for you, and welcome to round 9 of our Sebastian Vettel Championship season. And we're here for what, technically speaking, is my home Grand Prix, but maybe not Seb's, because there's no German Grand Prix on this year's calendar. Sad face. But here we are at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Again, like, I dread playing this now because I play on Legend AI now, so I don't enjoy it quite as much as I used to, but at least it's a bit more challenging and therefore, hopefully, a little bit more entertaining for you guys. Well, that's the idea anyway. Sorry for the delays on this. It's like, honestly, I can't lie to you. It's like, I'm lazy when it comes to these things, and I'm juggling so many different things at the moment that it's weird because I don't like setting up to record this game, but when I do actually record it, I do enjoy it. It's weird. It's like, it's just getting over the hump of being motivated to do it, and then when I actually do it, I kind of feel like I really want to keep doing it. So, you know, it's weird like that. I don't know how my mind works sometimes, but, yeah. I hope you guys are cool, and I'm going to set up a little bit here. And then I'm going to take to the track for some practice times, and I'll see you back here for qualifying. In case you guys are wondering, I do actually quite like Silverstone still. It's not the first track I think about when doing a race for my own amusement or enjoyment. But I can't lie, I do miss the old layout. So fast back then. That's why I was liking it. It was really, really fast. Such a quick layout, massive track, but ridiculously high speeds. It looked like so much. It was so much fun. I played it on Championship Edition a couple of weeks ago, and it was just so good. Don't worry, I'm not going to go on one of those V10 nostalgia trips. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not one of those guys that moonshines the V10 era just because, you know, the cars sounded nicer and looked a little bit better. Fickle stuff. Sport moves on, you know? Right, through Maggots and Beckett's. Whoa. Bit close on the track limits there. I'm looking forward to Cody sorting out the patch there with corner cutting. That really should be an invalidated lap, to be honest with you, but, you know. This is kind of like a business. This is my banker lap. My fuel mix is still on 2. I can go a bit quicker than this, I know for a fact. .134.0. I know that won't be good enough for pole. Like, I know I can go faster than that.
20 minutes later.
So, Vettel on pole by 3/10 over Hamilton, 34.3. Rosberg in third, 34.7. Raikkonen 34.9. Then Massa 5th, Bottas, Ricciardo, Kvyat, Hulkenberg, Marcus Ericsson, Carlos Sainz, Pastor Maldonado, Nasser, Grosjean, Verstappen down in 15th is a bit. Sergio Perez in 16th, that is disappointing. JB, Alonso, and then the manners of Stevens and Meri. Still a bit sad there's no update to put Alexander Rossi in the game yet. He's done 5 races. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, if you practice what you preach about live updates, then this should definitely be a thing by now. Just my humble opinion. But there you go. Onto the race.
It's Sunday afternoon and that means it's time for Formula One. This week finds us in the lush English countryside as the teams make their final preparations before the start of the British Grand Prix here in Silverstone. I'm really excited to see if Sebastian Vettel can take advantage of being on pole for today's race and go on and claim that win.
He's definitely going to be difficult to beat today, but anything can happen, so we'll have to keep a close eye on how this unfolds over the course of the race.
This season so far has been a return to form for Ferrari. The team from Maranello have produced a great car this year, which has conquered all before them.
Ferrari haven't won the Constructors' Championship since 2008, when Kimi Räikkönen was last at the Scuderia. For a team that has won 16 titles, this has been a comparatively long wait to get back to the top of the pile.
See, if McLaren in 2008 just hired a better driver than Heikki Kovalainen, then they probably would have won that Constructors' Championship. We all know that Hamilton and Massa respectively got the massive chunk of their points back then. Anyway, enough nostalgia tripping. Strategy-wise. So, 26 lap race. They're saying 8 laps on the options. And then option prime, basically. To stop her to the finish. Okay, pretty straightforward. I don't know, like, I've done 50%ers around this course before. Like, I've seen guys stretch it out to a one-stopper, and I've often seen people say that the options can't do 8 laps around here. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, let's go. Here we go. And we're off. Good start from Hamilton. I gotta hang it around the outside. Oh! Contact. They gave Hamilton the room. We're going to squeeze him out a little bit at turn 3. Onto the Wellington straight, and it looks like we're going to hang on to the lead here. See, if I'm Nico Rosberg, that's like mission number 1. Like, if I can lead into turn 1, I've pretty much won the race. Whoa. Big mistake. Oh, did Hamilton hit us there? I felt a FUD there. He may have done. Oh dear. Scruffy first lap from me. Not good at all. Into Baggett's and Beckett's for the first time. I hate when this car is so heavy in the early going. I really do. And honestly, I'm really weak around Sector 1. Rosberg having a look at Hamilton here for second. I think Rosberg's got him. He has. Great move from... Oh, Hamilton's got him back. Hamilton got him back somewhere. He didn't see it on the back of the camera, but lovely... Like the Mercs are scrapping back there. This car just has not got the grip in the early going. Yeah, Hamilton lost a bucket load of time. Even though he just took 4 attempts back out of me through Sector 1. Like, given the car's not so great mechanical grip compared to Mercedes, I'm going to lose all of my time pretty much in Sector 1. Sector 2 and 3 were pretty close. I think I'm faster in 3. But Sector 2 is Hamilton's just going to... Sector 1, Hamilton's just going to take shreds out of me. Hamilton right on my backside here. Looking for a move. Got to try and hang it around the outside here. Side by side. Hamilton has to back off. Wow. I gave Hamilton enough space, that's for sure. Just didn't quite have enough to get it done. Gotta defend again. Here comes Hamilton with DRS. Didn't have enough space to try to pass this time. Bit wide there again, but it looks like Rosberg having a look at Hamilton around the outside. Whoa, almost went into the grass myself there. Somehow we didn't lose the lead there. I was looking behind me and I made a mistake. I'm stunned. And Rosberg's taken second. Thanks, Nico. Keep scrapping, please. I need all the help I can get right here. Jesus. They're telling me to pit on lap 5? Make your mind up, game. How is it about to close? Oh my god, Hamilton! Hamilton had to back off there because he got really close to the back of me. I don't know what happened there. What has gone on back there that Hamilton's now in second place again? I feel like Jorge Lorenzo right now at Valencia. The difference is Hamilton's definitely faster than me. Might have been a contact there, but Hamilton does make it through. Wonder if we can get him back between now and the pit stops, I wonder. Oh, God. These tyres have got nothing left. Anyone in the leaders going in? They are not. So why is the pit strategy telling me lap 8 or 9, but then the team is telling me lap 5? What sense does that make? Am I missing something here? Well, let's see if the undercut works out in the end. Fresh pair of options coming on. Hopefully I can get these to maybe lap 12, 13, and then, you know, run the primes to the end, but if the team puts me on a free stopper, I know I've got no chance of winning, because my pace is not going to be good enough to win with a free stopper. So, I have to wait and see how this goes, but I'm not happy. So they're telling me one stop, so you're telling me I can make the end with 6 lap option stints? What is that? Trying to tell me it was an illegal overtake. What the hell was Nasser, Alonso, and Stevens doing there? And why was Stevens right on the back of Alonso? What is going on? There are guys in the pits. The front runners are in. So he couldn't make 8 laps either. What is this? How is that an illegal move? Did you see what was going on up there? Like, what was that? Hang on a minute. Let's go further up here. Let's focus here on Carlos Sainz, I think, because the Mercs are in the pits. So yeah, here's Carlos Sainz. He's lost his front wing. Ah, now that makes sense. So he's lost his front wing. He's locked up and gone very wide through Stowe. He's hit the back of Ericsson. They're all going very slowly. Trying to cater for one another here. And there's me flying around the outside of all of them here. Like, what is going on? That is a bizarre incident, man. Okay, let's see if we can get lucky second time around here and don't get any major problems. There's the train all coming in together. And I think the leaders, yep, the leaders are in too. Both Mercs, I think. Can they stack them like that? They can't. That was the fastest lap of the race. See, Hamilton pit there from second place. How very un-Mercedes like to let the second guy pit first. Yeah, but Rosberg is still going. This needs to be a big boy lap here. We've got to get back out in front. Over the line. Yet we're way out in front. Look at that. Superb work from Ferrari, actually. If they went for the undercut, it worked out beautifully in the end. Looks like Raikkonen is now in second place, with Massa third, so Rosberg is right down the order. It looks like going longer on the tyres didn't really work. Another great... That's my third straight 35-3. Consistency! So I lost 6/10 in that first sector to Raikkonen. I'm just thinking, how much of this lead am I willing to give up to try and make these tyres last a little bit longer? Because once the tyre wear gets bad in this game, it gets really bad. So now I'm just thinking now, how long do I want to play this? Like, ideally, I'd like to get to lap 14 or 15. If I can do that without giving up too much of the lead, I should be in good shape for the final stint. The AI pit, like, the most of the leaders pit on lap 7 or 8. So, by that logic, 14 is kind of the target here. And I think I can do that on these tyres. And Rosberg is now into third. As Hamilton just set a 35-2. How is that possible on those tyres? He's done 6 laps on those. He just set the fastest lap. How? Take it from me, who's doing this right now, who is on the 7th lap on these tyres. That's practically impossible. Oh, that's why he's got a puncher. What is it with Raikkonen having dreadful luck with punches? Second time he's done that now, this season. Happened in Austria too. So I'm going very slowly there. That's Raikkonen. We've put a lap on Raikkonen. Wow. Say no more, boys. Okay, so 11 laps to the finish on the prime tyre. Rosberg's going to take the lead. Now, if the strategy's anything to go by, he's not going to come in till maybe lap 18, I would say? Or is that him behind us now in the pits? That's probably going to be Raikkonen. Just looking from behind it. No, that's NASA. That's the Sauber. So yes, Hamilton passes us. Bottas is through. Rosberg is through. So we're now going to the end on this stint. So we've got to get some good laps in, re-establish the gap, and let's go from here. I hate to think how long it took Raikkonen to get back to the pits. Has he actually made it yet? God, that must suck. 15 seconds. Rosberg's in the pits. We've come out in the lead. Tyres are 2 laps older. That second stint on the options may have won us this race. Being able to make it work and just not losing too much time. I don't know if the Mercs lost time in the pits or something at the end of that first stint, or just holding them off for so long was what made it work, but it's worked. What's the gap? Nearly 9 seconds. That's excellent. Barring anything stupid, we should have this from here. So, now the gap's 11 seconds. I've got a little bit of time to talk about this. Brazil, I know people are going to ask me about this. Brazil wasn't that great a race. Unfortunate nature of F1. Sometimes you're going to get a stinker. It happens. In fact, anything, you got a better chance of a stinker than anything that's really great, like Kota, for example. That's just the nature of these things. But it's a shame that people are only now largely talking about the effect of dirty air in F1. Wow, that was the fastest lap of the race. Shit. Awesome. Just saying that, yeah, on the whole right now, it's a shame because, you know, this is not a new thing. Like, at all, this is not a new thing. It's strange that people are only now really talking about this on a large scale. Like, I think Sky for the first time started talking about it post-race. And it feels like it's more being done as an excuse for Lewis Hamilton than any genuine concern about the actual sport, because this has not been a new thing for some time. Like, remember China? Do you remember the Chinese Grand Prix? And how Rosberg got completely vilified for talking about dirty air and how he wasn't able to push, and how, you know, he burnt his tyres up in the first stint, and etc. People complained about that people complained at Rosberg for being a crybaby and being a sore loser. Isn't it funny what happens now when the shoe's on the other foot and people start being more sympathetic towards Hamilton? See? We just got a carbon copy of China. Hamilton was a little bit salty about it afterwards. Hamilton doesn't get the same treatment. Why? Because more people love Hamilton than they do Rosberg. It's amazing how these things turn out. It's like we're making up excuses for Hamilton because it fits the narrative. It fits the narrative and it fits the overarching nature. It fits the overarching nature of this sport and its revolution around Lewis Hamilton, which is a shame, really. We all know Hamilton's the best driver in the world. We all know that. We don't need big debates about that. It's just the truth. He is. We know that. Right now, Hamilton and Vettel are in a league of their own. Everybody else, you know, is just not in that same league. That's fine. I get that. But at the same time, people like to, like I said on Dre TV a few weeks ago, people like to slam Nico Rosberg for the sake of it, and that's a shame. Because Rosberg is a very good driver who can lead from the front and who can win those kind of races. But people don't realise that with the nature of Mercedes, the benefit of dirty air, and the leading car getting priority on pit stops, 80% of the time, the lead car will win. That's what happens. like the times Hamilton's passed Rosberg for the win has only happened like maybe 2 or 3 times. Like, the majority, if you lead, whoever leads into turn 1 is probably going to go on to win the race. And you can't really blame Merckx for that. Like, people were slamming Merckx saying, oh, why wasn't Hamilton allowed to change his strategy? My response to that is, why would Merckx gamble with the 1-2 when Vettel was still only about 10 seconds or so behind? You'd be putting the 1-2 at risk, and that's just dumb. Merckx don't care which one of their drivers wins the race. They don't. They're not telling Rosberg to pull over to one side for Hamilton. They're not. And they never will, because they don't do the whole team orders and the, lead driver, second driver dynamic that a lot of other teams have done in the past, like Ferrari. So, like, what are we really talking about here? It's nonsense. People just want a story, and the season's over, so we need something to keep the narrative ticking over until the end of the season. So it just annoys me that it seems like it's one rule or one narrative for Hamilton and another one for Rosberg, because the sport's kind of given up on Rosberg, really, as the Hamilton threat, when everyone's now talking about, oh, can Ferrari get there for 2016 instead? And I see why people are having that way of thinking, because Ferrari has made progress this year, tremendous progress this year, and now it's looking like it's a situation where people are thinking, maybe Ferrari can be more of a threat next year. I'm sure that's an optimistic belief to have right now, but they've given up on Rosberg, and that's a shame. Like, Rosberg lost this season when he lost his qualifying performance, because that's the most important thing with being a Merckx driver now. If you're not leading into turn 1, you're probably not going to win. And Hamilton's got more raw pace than Rosberg does, but because of the nature of dirty air, it doesn't really matter on that level. Which again is a shame, but that's just how Merckx is and how the cars are. Whatever. Lost a bit of time to Nico this lap. Looks like his slightly fresher tyres are now starting to come into play. But the gap's very manageable, so let's see what the problem is. Just got to nurse it home now. It's so weird. The AI are now 1.5 seconds faster than me in Sector 1, but in Sectors 2 and 3 it's practically identical. Why is it that's happening? I do not understand this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Gap's now 7.5. Like, I should be okay with 2 to go. But Rosberg's, like, he's like, my tyres are gone. My lap times are just plummeting here. Just got to hang on for another 2 laps, but all of a sudden it's gotten a little bit more edgy up in here because Rosberg is a million miles faster than me in Sector 1. I'm trying really hard to perfect my line through turn 1 here. Like, Grosjean's now going faster than me. Grosjean's about 1 lap himself. I do not need this shit right now, Grosjean, okay? Take another 8/10 out of me through Sector 1 there. 6.4 now the gap. And Grosjean is legitimately faster than me on these fresh options he's rocking. So, of course he's going to be as quick, if not a little bit quicker. Now is not the time for your lapping misery, Grosjean. If this race was 3 laps longer, I might have a serious issue. I'd have considered pitting one more time, actually, but it looks like Rosberg's going to run out of laps here. This situation reminds me a lot of Belgium last year, where Ricciardo was being bared down on a rate of knots, but Rosberg ran out of laps for the win. DRS will help. Rosberg's going to run out of time. Oh, Rosberg's got a time penalty? Why didn't he tell me earlier? This game is really starting to piss me off. But it doesn't matter, as we come round the final corner, and we're going to take the win at the British Grand Prix. We got it. Yes. Just about hung on to that one. Rosberg's pace in the second half, in the last stint there, was insane. Like, the gap at one point was 12 seconds. He brought it down to within, like, 3.5 by the time the race was over. Just, him on those 2-lap fresher primes was just insane. But, yeah. Wow. My first ever win, I think, against legendary opposition. I'm pretty darn sure of that.
It was a brilliant result for Ferrari today. They'll have answered a few critics with that performance.
It was a fantastic performance, and one that they should be very proud of. Every part of the team pulled together to achieve today's result.
Well, what a weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling instalment of this Formula One season.
And yeah, the AI said it themselves. Nico Rosberg did have a 5-second time penalty for something. We'll check that out in a minute. But yeah, he ends up beating Hamilton by 13 thousandths of a second after the penalty. Very, very close stuff indeed. Lewis Hamilton finishes 3rd. Valtteri Bottas 4th. Nico Hülkenberg in 5th place. What a performance from him in the Force India. Daniel Ricciardo in 6th. Massa down to 7th in the end. Just beating Carlos Sainz for 8th place, Daniel Kvyat in 9th, and Pastor Maldonado gets a point for Lotus in 10th, ahead of Jenson Button in 11th place for McLaren. Oh, just a 10th away from being in the points himself, very unlucky. Marcus Ericsson in 13th, Perez 14th, Grosjean 15th. Sorry, Grosjean 14th at the end, sorry. Alonso 15th. Raikkonen finished in 16th after his time penalty and puncher. Max Verstappen in 17th, Nasser 18th. Will Stevens in 19th, and Roberto Mehi rounds off the field in 20th. Let's see the time penalties here real quick. Toggle incidents. Here we go. Rosberg, severe collision with Felipe Nasser on lap 8 for a 5-second time penalty. Marcus Ericsson got one for ignoring yellow flags. Max Verstappen got one for hitting Will Stevens. Nasser ignored blue flags and was a time penalty. Was that when I was around him, I wonder? Anything else? Yeah, Alonso got 5 seconds for hitting Raikkonen, and Raikkonen got 5 seconds for hitting Alonso, so they hit each other, basically. Delightful stuff. Championship standings, Vettel leads the championship now by 81 points over Lewis Hamilton in second, Valtteri Bottas in third, Nico Rosberg now up into fourth place with that second place with 96 points. I mean, effectively the season's done, but that's mostly because Mercedes had such awful reliability at the start of the season. Raikkonen in 5th, Ricciardo 6th, now 4 points ahead of Felipe Massa. Nasser is still in 8th place with 26 points, ahead of Kvyat and Ericsson to round off the top 10. Nico Hülkenberg jumps up to 11th place now with his big 5th place result there as well. In the Constructors, we have a 69-point lead over Mercedes, Williams in 3rd, in Red Bull Racing with 93 points ahead of Sauber, Lotus, Toro Rosso now pass Honda into 7th place with 19 points to 18, and now Force India has gotten themselves back in the mix with 15 points due to Nico Hülkenberg's 5th placed finish. And with that, that's the end of the race. I can't believe I've actually won. I mean, it's nice to know that I have the pace to be able to win races at the highest difficulty now. And, you know, maybe it's my own lack of confidence that has been the problem here more than my actual level of skill. But I'm very happy with how that race turned out. I'm glad we were able to win. It's a shame that my pace at the end wasn't great at all, but we did enough to win, and that's all that really matters. So I'm very happy with that. I kind of worry myself into a tiz for no real reason, because I could have easily gone to the free stopper and probably won, knowing that Rosberg had a 5-second time penalty, which again they didn't tell me about until the final lap, which is really annoying. But on the whole, I'm very happy with that, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, I've been Harrison101. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Sayonara.